The world of Game Pass, I'm here with Sean Abbott, who's full of pie on vacation, just ready to like lay back. But I'm like, no, none of that. We're gonna chat about some video games, man. How are you doing? How's vacation going?
It's good for the most part. I mean, it's late October in the UK. We've been blessed with some fantastic sunshine.
Nice.
It's been very windy, but also quite warm, which has been it's like I've been able to walk along the UK coast without a coat on, so that's a positive at this time of year.
That is saying something.
That's good. All's been well. We had one bad night. Logan, I don't know if he'd swallowed too much water in the pool or something like that, but he had a really bad night where he was being sick and throwing up quite a bit, which was fun. But other than that, so I had a proper like code brown dad moment, which was nice.
Yeah, those are no good. So
he'd fallen asleep in our bed in the room that we have with Lindsay. So I went and got in their bed. Lindsay woke up and went to go swimming with her mum because she's big into her lane swimming and stuff. So she went off to do some swimming. So I thought, I'll get cuddled in with Logan, make sure he's okay. Ask him if he's asleep, just leave him kind of sleep. And I laid with him for a bit, and after about half an hour, he kind of came around a little bit, looked at me, and was like, "Morning, Daddy." And I was like, "You all right, bud? How's your belly feeling?" "Oh yeah, it's feeling okay." So, "All right, well, I'll go get you some water. You just chill out." And I came back into the bedroom, and he kind of just went, "I think I've had an accident." And he's still in nighttime nappies, but because he'd been sick, he had a really poorly stomach. So it came over the back of the nighttime nappy and kind of leaked all over the bed, and I was like, "Oh no." Luckily, Lindsay was she must have just been on her way back from swimming because I sent her a message and said, "We've got a code brown, hurry." And I did the whole thing where I just picked him up, carried him through to the shower, stood him in the shower, stripped him completely butt naked, and hosed him down, got him clean, and kind of wrapped him up in towels. And Lindsay came through the door just as I was getting him out of the shower, chucked him into her arms. I was like, "Right, I'm going to go and get all the bedding sorted." So luckily, it wasn't too bad, but it was a bit fluidy.
Yeah. Man, I don't miss those days at all. I mean, man, and Noah was the he didn't do that, or he did do that a couple times, but he was always throwing up, always. Oh, and I never knew in my life I was gonna be puked on until that kid. I mean, it was all the time. And so yeah, oh man, I am happy to be done with that, and hopefully I don't have to go back. Hopefully nothing happens where I have to go back there. Okay, so yeah, that's dad life. That's the dad life segment of our Game Pass news. Well, reminder, we're both dads. No, but that's cool. I'm glad you guys have been having a great vacation and enjoying the weather. Some awesome pictures. You always send me the best pictures. I mean, I love it. I feel like I'm there. I think it's the greatest thing. Hey, Sean, did you know? The whole world knows probably, but did you know that there is a new expansion pass for the Nintendo Switch online?
Yeah, it's cost me a small fee this week. So I had an individual pass, so I transferred us to a family pass. That cost me another £12.50 for the year. And then when the expansion pass came out, that cost me another £29.75 because they worked it out in a really weird way that you got 7.5 pence or something stupid like that for every year that you'd already had an expansion pass. So, sorry, you had the Nintendo Switch Online, so it kind of give you a discount to continue. So yeah, it's cost me £42 in the last week.
Well, I wanted to have, and I have upgraded as well. It only made sense. I have a family plan. It was in March. It's up in March of 2022. So I think I ended up paying I don't know, $50 or something prorated to get it to that time. I can't even remember, to be honest. Anyways, and so I wanted to have a conversation because I thought this was very interesting. We sat there, full disclosure, everybody pretty much knows who listens to this show. We are Dad Crossing guys too, so we sat there I don't know. I was like, okay, cool. This price isn't over the top crazy. I mean, you're getting all this stuff. And then then I went on Twitter, and like, I feel like I walked into a burning building as they were like, "Oh my god, the price is ridiculous!" And I was like, "Well, wait." And I thought it would be interesting to compare. Ironically, we run these two shows, and they're not both about subscriptions, but this one is about pretty much a subscription. And I'm gonna coin a subscription as anything where you're subscribing and you never own the game or anything like that. You're subscribing, and if you stop subscribing, you no longer have the game. That's pretty much a subscription.
Which brings us on to a question later on, by the way. So
yeah. And so I don't know. I was sitting here thinking, let's take Animal Crossing out of the mix of NSO, of Nintendo Switch Online. Because they say that's the free thing. They're like, hey, this was just like bonus content we decided to throw in. Whether or not you believe it, that's another conversation for another day. Is Nintendo Switch Online a good deal for what if you get Nintendo 64 and Sega games?
So taking away the expansion pass or the DLC for Animal Crossing?
Yes, exactly.
Absolutely not. Oh, have you played the Genesis games that are available?
No, actually, to be fair, I've never was a Genesis guy. I never had one, so I was actually kind of interested in playing them. You're telling me they're all junk? Is that what you're telling me?
So unfortunately for me, I was given an NES as a kid, which I absolutely loved, and I got an SNES, and then it took a long time when the N64 came out for me to get an N64 as a kid, because my mum and dad, for whatever reason, thought, we'll buy him a Sega. Fuck you. But no. I got the same, like for years and years, I asked at Christmas, I wanted a Game Boy. I literally just wanted a Game Boy because I wanted to be able to play Super Mario on the Game Boy, like the original Super Mario games. But no, I got Sega Game Gear, and then me and my brother got we got the 32-bit Sega Mega Drive. I never got the Genesis, but because we had the 32-bit Mega Drive, we had access to things like, say, Sonic the Hedgehog 2 and stuff like that. And I went through the roster of games they've got for the Genesis. Unless you were a die-hard Sega Genesis fan, it's not worth it. That literally, Dr. Robotnik's Bean Machine and Sonic the Hedgehog 2 are the only two games that I would play on there. I'm not bothered about Contra. I'm not bothered about Streets of Rage. I'm not bothered about Golden Axe. The rest are just absolute dog crap.
Now see, here's what I don't get. So Nintendo fans, and the comparison here, guys, is the fact that we run this show, and everybody loves Gamepass. I mean, right? It's so great to run this show. Everybody comes on this show and they're like, hey man, I may not play Xbox, but it's the best deal on the block for video games, blah 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 blah, right? And so then Nintendo's like, hey, here's our deal, and they're like, blah, this sucks, take Animal Crossing out. Which, by the way, people, if they take Animal Crossing out, it is not gonna lower the price. I candot tell you that enough. It's not gonna lower the price. You're just gonna lose something. Whether you play it or not, it doesn't matter. It's not gonna lower it. But Andros, by the way, is in the chat, and he says, "Listen, it's a good deal." He had a moment on Nintendo Dads where he definitely, he didn't really go off. I mean, he might have went off for Andros, let me say that, but it was pretty tame compared to like Marty on a bad day. And I guess I just don't get it. Like, everybody wanted N64 games. Everybody was like, this licensing's gonna be really hard. Guess what? It is hard. It is hard. So yes, they had to open up their wallet. And if they open up their wallet, if you want the thing, you gotta open up your wallet. Like, I mean, I don't understand. Like, what did you think? Well, I don't know. I don't get it.
Yeah. I think in time to come.
Price? Are you surprised by the price, or do you just not like the games? Because I totally get that. Like, maybe you're like, listen, these games aren't for me. N64 games aren't really for me.
I'm surprised by the games. If they had a better selection of games, like if you put Sonic Spinball on the Genesis list, I'd honestly pay the amount that I've paid just to play Sonic Spinball, because I cannot get hold of that game
Everybody's
anywhere.
got that one, right?
and I can't get hold of the console enough to play the game anywhere. So I'm all for that. N64 games. I had a little go Super Mario 64, and trying to play it on handheld and not with a GameCube controller is really difficult. It's just
You
it
mean
does not.
N64
Yeah.
controllers? Or you mean?
Sorry. Yeah.
Okay. All right.
I've been looking. We found. I'm going to try and say this quietly because my kids are in the next room sleeping. But Aldi, which is it's not a UK supermarket. It's probably an Aldi
Yeah, yeah, we
in
have all these.
America.
Yeah, yeah.
Um,
I mean, I think we have the same one. I think we're talking about the same.
Online shopping exclusive. You can get a wireless GameCube Pro controller, yellow with Pikachu on it, for $24.99.
Do you have do you have a do you have a GameCube in your house, or do you have a Smash player, or what's going on here?
I don't, but it works with a Switch.
Works with a Switch. Is it a legit GameCube controller? How did I not know that GameCube controller?
It is the complete layout. It's got the proper layout with the little analog stick in the middle and stuff like that. It is the full on GameCube controller layout. $24.99. Lindsay showed me it, and I was like, no, sorry, $24.99. Lindsay showed me it earlier, and I was like, why haven't you bought one yet? But anyway, because I'm a sucker for a GameCube controller. That was one of my favorite controllers. But
It is a good controller. There's no
so
doubt.
going back to it, Super Mario 64, trying to play it without the actual N64 controller, really janky, very difficult.
Amen.
Didn't like it. Lilac Wars or Star Fox, depending on if you've. I've gone straight into the settings and set it to play EU and North America, so I've got both versions.
Mm-hmm.
So obviously I might call, because for me it was Star Fox. For you it was Lilac Wars, I believe. Can't remember which way around it was.
It was Star Fox 64 over here. I'm pretty sure. If that's what
so it was Lilac Wars in the UK. So I play Lilac Wars where everybody else plays Star Fox. I played Lilac Wars.
Oh, I did not know that. That's interesting. That's an interesting factoid for me.
So, which I enjoyed playing that, because that was a rundown nostalgia street. Because I can remember still now even remember all the side questy bits where you could follow Falco into like the waterfall and things like that. So done all that. But the rest of the games are just Dr. Mario 64. I'm not interested.
Yeah,
Ocarina of Time.
Yeah.
Ocarina of Time. I've got that on an actual N64 at home, and I have played that through to 100% again, like slowly over time.
I would like to play that one. My fear is, though, it's going to be just like Super Mario 64, where it's going to frustrate the hell out of me, and I'm going to be like, no, this game was good in its time, but now it's just annoying. Remaster it, and I'm happy to play it again.
Which is unfortunately forcing me to want to buy the N64 controller.
Good luck. They're all sold out. For all those people who didn't want the dang thing, they all bought a bunch of N64 controllers. You know what they're probably going to do? One, they're either going to sell them on eBay, which, God bless you, that's fine. Do what you want. I'm not one of those people. Or they're not going to get the NSO expansion pack, and they're just going to, like, post them behind them back here and just never actually play with them. That's what I think is going to happen. Like, most of these got sold to be like wall ornaments, basically.
Yeah. But then I go back to when I originally started having Game Pass, and the list of games that were on Game Pass at the time of me paying for it wasn't fantastic. But now it's brilliant.
Yeah, that's fair.
It's probably going to get the same with the N64. We're going to see bigger and better games coming.
Mm-hmm. That makes a lot of sense. This was actually something that John had mentioned. He had said that he felt that the price was set to what it was going to be, not what it currently is, right? Because last thing you want to do is be like, hey, you can get this for $20, and then you bring in 3 more games, which adds more license fee, and you're like, okay, yeah, but now it's $25. You know, nobody wants to be like $5. It's going to irritate people. So you just have to set it for where it's going to be, not where it is. And I think
which worries me in time if they start to add things like, GameCube games. Is that going to jack the price up again? Are you going to start looking at, rather than it being, $50 for you guys, like £35 for us for a family pass? Are you going to start looking at like it's nearly $75?
Yeah, because that's what it is for me now.
Jesus.
Yeah, it's $75 for a family pass if you get it. If you get it, no proration. Um, let, probably, but I say probably, but maybe not as much. I really think that they got some games here that they had to pay for. Like they had to really put out some money for, and they thought it was worth it. They thought getting Banjo Kazooie was worth it. Was worth the money they were gonna have to lay on the table. But in, the other side of that coin, you had to lay the money on the table. Like, or we have to lay the money on the table. So yeah, I think it's interesting, very interesting though, and it's an interesting factoid that you bring up about I mean I didn't have Game Pass in the very very beginning, and so it's interesting to think maybe Game Pass was a little janky too in the beginning, and maybe this is a little janky now.
I pay for Game Pass from day one, so I've always had it. It was kind of like because it was sold to me like I think at the time I could get 6 months free Game Pass for £1, and then I forgot about it. I played a couple of games that were on there, thinking, "Oh, this is cool for £1." I've been able to like play like Fusion Frenzy and stuff like that, and like Grand Theft Auto was available. Even though I had the physical copy of it on a disc, Grand Theft Auto was available for me to download digitally, so I didn't have to worry about always having to load the disc and stuff. And then after 6 months, I kind of just forgot about it.
So and certainly, they're almost not comparable. That's, I don't know. That's probably a bad way to say it. Because I actually don't remember how many games Game Pass has on it at the moment. But, so you're paying $180 if you get Game Pass Ultimate, $120 if you're not. Should have just done that. Easier math. For one person, to have that for a year, and you can get it cheaper for sure, if you look out for deals. And so, but you're paying $75 for the NSO for 8 people. Now I get it. You might not be using it for all 8, or maybe you're just a single guy or whatever, and you don't, you're just like, this is what we're doing. But on a I don't know how you get the family plan and you complain. If you can put 4 people on the family plan, that's $20 a year per person. Come on now. I mean, like, we really? Like, I don't know. I don't get it. I'll be honest.
So I'm currently on the Xbox Game Pass game library page, and I've got it set to 200 games per page, and it's 3 pages long.
So there's like 600-ish games, maybe a little bit less because maybe there's not 200 exactly on the page.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
So it's a far better deal for Game Pass than it is NSO. So sell your Switch, buy an Xbox.
This is not console wars, Sean. We're not. We love everybody. Come on now. Yeah, I mean.
Hey, welcome to the chat, Hambo. How are you doing?
Yeah, hey, join the NSO Wars chat. No, I mean, I get that. Could you imagine if we had NSO news? Like, we wouldn't do anything but like twice a year at the max, I'd be like, oh, there's news. We could play the same games over and over and over. Actually, that sounds great. I wouldn't be pressured at all. Now Xbox like, here, 12 more games, 12 more games. And I'm like, oh my God, I have no idea. I'm totally lost count on what I'm supposed to do to keep up with this crap. Yeah, Hambo Johnny says Game Pass is greater than NSO. That's somewhat true, but you can't play these games anywhere else. That's where the price comes in. I don't know if that's true. Yeah. That's not true for Sega Genesis games. That's not true. I'm sorry. I take that back. Because they have the whole like Sega Genesis Mini. But a lot of these games, you either can't play it anywhere else, or you have to like go source the hardware, right? Like the original hardware or something like that.
So this then brings me the question is that we got the NES and the SNES for a decent enough price. Now, did we get that for a decent enough price off the back of the sales of the physical copies of the NES Mini and the SNES Mini?
Yeah, that's a fair question. Actually, you segued into mine. How much would you pay for these games on an N64 Mini?
Um, let's see. I paid £50 for the NES, and I paid 75 for the SNES. So I'd pay £100 for an N64 Mini, but not with those games. It'd have to have more games than that, which it could do. This is like they've started small with the N64.
Yeah. Yeah, this one is so fun to me. I was tickled to watch Twitter just go crazy, and just I was like, I don't get it, man. But I mean, hey, you gotta, let it be known what's going on, how you feel. Um, so yeah, but it's out there, and I'm paying for it because I'm an Animal Crossing guy. I will admit, I don't know if I would have like immediately jumped on the bandwagon if Animal Crossing wouldn't have been there. And I think they knew
Yeah.
that. I think they focus grouped out that cost, that they were like, listen, we got to get this out of a monthly fee. And they focus grouped that out, and people were like, no. And they were like, okay. How do we sweeten this deal a little bit to make people want to jump on this band?
I full on wouldn't have got the expansion plus if it wasn't for the fact that Animal Crossing was part of it, and I wouldn't have gone to a family expansion if Lindsay hadn't got back into Animal Crossing.
Sure, makes sense.
So it's
Yeah. But now you can play all those sweet, sweet, janky N64 games that you have such fond memories of, and realize that they're not really that good anymore. I'm sorry, don't hate me, people. Okay. Anyways, let's move on. Next news starts with Nintendo as well. Pikmin Bloom is out, but not for you, Sean. I'm sorry.
no,
I'm sorry.
no,
It
not
will
yet.
be though within like a week, they say. So
Yeah, we're getting this. Looking at what we looked at before we started recording and going live, it's going to have the same kind of rollout pattern as Pokemon Go. So
yeah, and which that means, Sean, if I really like work my ass off, maybe I can get enough steps to keep ahead of you for like a week when you actually get it. I'll be like, hey,
So
Sean.
I'd have been really excited for this because I'm literally like, we get home tomorrow from the vacation, and then I've got 2 day shifts to do. So I'd have been able to there'd have been loads of stuff I'd have been able to do.
Yeah, I know. I'm gonna be like, Sean, I've had this game for 2 weeks and I'm at 25,000 steps. You'd be like, yeah, I just did 3 shifts, so I'm at like 60. So yeah, but it's fun. Way to go, pal. Good work. I can see it already. That's how it's gonna go. But this made me think, okay, what Microsoft's IP should have games? And that made me think, Sean, well, what Microsoft IPs already have mobile games? And I was blown away at how many mobile games Microsoft has that I didn't even know existed, to be honest.
Yep.
Have
And then
you
when I
played?
looked at it, I played Forza Street. Yes.
Okay.
From what I can remember of playing Forza Street, I don't know if people have played. I think it's CSR Racing. Custom. I can't remember what the CSR bit stands for, but basically, it's a similar layout to that. You do a drag race where you've got to hit the gear changes at the exact right time. There's like get the sweet spot to get the extra turbo boost. You drag race against somebody. Boom, you earn so much credit, so much of this, can unlock your car, upgrade your car, move on, do the same thing over and over again.
Sure.
No.
Minecraft, obviously, there's a bunch of there's a bunch of different There's a bunch of different Minecrafts out there. Let me tell you, people. Gears Pop is a turn-based strategic game, which makes sense. I could see that. Never played it though. Never. Absolutely.
I think Gears Pop is what bred Gears Tactics.
Oh, really?
So
I would have thought that would have went reverse style, but that makes sense. Age of Empires Castle Siege. This actually isn't out on iOS. It's out on Windows Phone and Android. So never played it. 2 Halo games, Spartan Strike and Spartan Assault. I'm not gonna lie, I haven't played any of these guys. I didn't even know Microsoft had all these out. So
I think I stay clear of the Halo ones as well, just because I didn't like Halo, which will bring me on to something that I'm going to say later.
yeah, sounds good. Fable Coin Golf, only on Windows Phone. Hey, see you later, Andros. Thanks for dropping by. We really appreciate it. I gotta be honest, this was only on the Windows Phone, but like if I could play this game, I would love to see what this looks like. Fable Coin Golf. I just want to know what it's about. Like I seriously do. Um, Is there any other Microsoft IP that you would like to see a mobile game for? That's not already out there that we just chatted about, mentioned. We didn't really.
I don't know. Fable Go. That'd be fun. If like you had to walk around and there was like you kind of think about this now. I'm pitching an idea, Microsoft. Come at me. So basically, like you have your Pokestops, you've got to arrive to your whatever you want to call them in Fable Go.
Yeah, your Fable stops.
Fable stops, yeah. And you kind of have to make a decision there and then. So you come across like a villager who's stuck, and this villager's at this stop. This villager's asking you, like, really help me. Or the alternative is take like their gold, or stuff like that. I don't know, but yeah. Anyway, that's we've already got Halo.
I'd like to see something with Psychonauts. That one hit me. It's kind of it. I mean, it's a beautiful game, but it kind of has an art style that could be done on a mobile pretty easily.
Yeah.
And,
even if you get like a Candy Crush version of Psychonauts, where all the different abilities are just the different like.
Yeah, that would be really cool, and you could get like luggage tags to drop every once in a while, and all kinds. Yeah, you could do a bunch of fun stuff. So, yeah, yeah, I don't know. I just thought it'd be fun, and I really was shocked when I searched for these games. I was like, "Holy crap! I had no idea that half these even existed." But I'm excited. I'm really excited for Pikmin Bloom, and excited to see what that looks, or how I stick with it, if I stick with it. And it'd be fun though to have Microsoft kind of give us a new version. When I looked, 2016 was the last time they had done a foray into mobile gaming. But I guess here was my other question, Sean. Do they ever need to do another mobile game with xCloud?
No, because you could play everything on the go. So why bother?
Yeah, that's what I ended up thinking too. I was like, well, who cares? Like, why do they? I mean, they have all these games with touch controls that they're dropping on the regular. So why would they ever make a mobile game when they're like, here, just play our game, and you don't even have to have a controller, albeit maybe not the best way to play. You can do it. so
yeah. This next bit, I haven't seen the video.
You haven't seen the video?
I haven't seen the Halo Infinite single campaign video. If it's dropped while I've been away, I haven't been.
Oh, I should have sent it to you.
Yeah.
Sean, it looks so good. Like, I cannot even. Sean, listen, I'm like a Halo guy, but not like I dropped off after 2. So there's a lot of Halo that I have not played. I'm not gonna lie. But the single player campaign looks absolutely fantastic. You have an open map. It kind of almost has that Far Cry-ish feel to it, but I don't know if it actually is going to be like that. It was tough to tell.
Oh.
Like, you could be, it was like, oh, you're dropping on this map. You need to take out this kind of like fort, kind of like outposty type thing. Do you want to go in and just blow it up, or do you want to pick some people off from a distance with a sniper? Like, how do you want to go about it? And if that's really how it's played, if that's really how it works, I saw the fly. We got a third co-host. I love it. Let's call him Buzz. Buzz is our third co-host. I love it. It was like right in the camera too. I had to appreciate it.
Yeah, he flew literally in the.
That was pretty good. And if it really is like that, I cannot tell you how excited I will be for it. I mean, I was like excited for it, but kind of like, I don't know. But now, let me tell you, I'm in. So, what is your? Well, you haven't seen. Damn it, Sean! You need to go watch. If we were not streaming, I would stop right now and be like, "Go watch it," and then come back.
I'm just remembering now, looking back through the Discord. Like, I wasn't looking back through the Discord, but as I've been like trying to keep up with the party chat and stuff on Discord, I remember you talking. Remember you mentioning it, and I thought, what's Nick talking about? I need to like go into it, and then something will have happened, and it was like,
no, I know how vacations are. Trust me, man.
So yeah, I will go look at it. If it's as good as If it's got you excited enough to be slightly like Far Cry, which I do enjoy,
Hmm.
then yeah, I'll probably play the campaign, especially if it's on Game Pass, more than I'll play the multiplayer.
Yeah.
Just
Oh, for sure,
because,
for sure.
I, yeah,
I will only will I mean we'll certainly do like a few community days of multiplayer, but I mean like to jump in with a huge group and just play. I don't know. That I'm not super pumped about that. I'm too old and slow to ever have a chance with online with other people. Um what was like oh, the one time he pulls up a map. So they kind of show you taking out this like outposty fort thing, and then he pulls up this map, and it's like this large open area, and on it like dots just start to drop, and they were like, "Where should we go next?" And I was like, "Oh my gosh, if this is how this works, I'm totally in." So, anyways,
especially ghosts and warthogs and stuff like that as well, and like the ships and
yeah, there was this one spot where you could just go, and they basically printed you like whatever you had unlocked. They basically you could print a certain like vehicle to jump into. I
yeah.
was blown away. I was like, wow, this I'm pumped.
So just very
Yeah,
quickly, while we're talking about warthogs and Halo, if you go to YouTube and you search for the Hoonigans, which is Hoonigans. If you look for the Hoonigans, they have built a warthog.
like does it
Yep,
work?
they have. Yep, fully functioning. They have built it armor. Like I don't think it's armor plating, but they've given it bodywork to look like a warthog, and they've driven it through Los Angeles.
I gotta go see this. This is fantastic.
So
That's what yes, that would be fantastic. All right, I know we're both kind of excited for this. Brings back some good memories. So we talked about the GTA trilogy coming to all platforms, I guess. I believe. I think it's coming to Switch and the whole thing. Um, but we just got word that GT or not just, but last week we got word that GTA San Andreas, of one of the three in the trilogy, will actually be coming to Game Pass day one on November 11th.
may I add the best of the three?
That's what I think too. That's what I think too. I'm like, I don't need any of the other. I don't know. Is on the business side, is this are people gonna buy this or gonna play this and buy the other three? You think? I don't know.
No, Xbox have done really. I think they've been very, very clever with this, and they've probably spoke to Rockstar and like, okay, out of the three, which one can we have for go on, which one can we have?
Yeah.
And like Rockstar will have gone, well, which one do you want? Show us the money. So
Mm-hmm.
Xbox have gone, which one's going to get the most? Because Vice City was great for the soundtrack.
Mm-hmm.
The original Grand Theft Auto was great for the fact that it was the original 3D, like third person view kind of version.
Yeah.
But it was missing so many things that But then they brought out San Andreas, which was basically GTA 3 in the 3D realm, and you've got like the cool stuff you can do with the bikes, the fact that you've got the whole gang warfare thing, you've got the gym element of it, you've got the being able to get your guy really fat element of it. There's just so much stuff to it, and then you've got it's the whole Compton, like NWA, that era of music and that whole era of the game, because it came out at a time where that seemed to be really big as well. It was just the best out of them all, and it was just so funny as well, like the interactions that the characters have, like between like Big Smoke and stuff like that, and CJ,
Mm-hmm.
and just yeah, I enjoy it. I enjoyed it a lot.
It's interesting that PlayStation is getting it. I don't remember which one, but is getting one of the other versions. So, so I find that very interesting.
I can
Um,
imagine PlayStation's probably going to get either they'll more than likely have the original. I'd say because that's when it originally came out on PlayStation only, I believe.
yeah, and to be honest, the first I always say I never played a PlayStation because I played so little of it. But the first Grand Theft Auto, and I can't remember which one it was that I played, was on a PlayStation in my friend's dorm room or in our dorm room, but it was my friend's PlayStation, and I didn't play very much of it. But that was the first time I'd ever played Grand Theft Auto and got somewhat hooked into it. It was really
See,
really lovely.
I played the original like 2D top-down versions as well.
Yeah,
It was fun.
good stuff. Next on our top stories of chatter in the interwebs, we got word that A Quiet Place video game is coming in 2022 to Xbox. I am
This is just
surprisingly surprised or excited for this. I hope it's
yes,
good.
especially if you have to play the game using it if you using a headset.
Oh yeah,
Because if you have to play that game in pure silence with your mic, like if that's an added thing that you can have to with your mic, where
oh
like
that would be
you
cool.
breathe, that will make the game so immersive. It'll be unreal.
I
I
don't
would
know
be
if they'll go
like,
that far, but I'm excited. I mean, it's obviously going to be stealthy, no doubt about that. Um, and I also appreciated. At first, I was like, whatever. But when I started to read more, they say it's an untold story in the Quiet Place universe. So we're not just rehashing the movie, which is always
no.
something that doesn't appeal to me at all. I'm like, well, I watched the movie. I don't need to play it out in a video game form. So this isn't that, and that was when I read that. That was what really got me excited because I thought, oh, this could be really cool. I mean,
If they
yeah.
make it a survival horror game where you've kind of got to collect resources, but very quietly collect resources,
Mm-hmm.
yeah,
Yeah, I mean,
that'd be
use
great.
all those things in the movie, right? Like, yeah, if you want to,
Sand, putting sand down to walk over like noisy,
yeah,
yeah.
yeah, do that. And if you want to, like, if you gotta like hammer or craft anything, you got to do it by a stream or something, so that you're making so that you have noise to cover your noise. I mean, yeah, there's just so much stuff they could do with it, and
Like
if they go
hunting
that
for
way,
food, you've kind of got to like use bow and arrow or traps and be really
mm-hmm.
like
Yeah, yeah, it's super cool. It's by a studio called Illogica, and from the news feed I read from Pure Xbox, this will probably be their largest game. So hope they do it justice and they can knock it out of the park and get some good press for this because I'm pretty excited about that.
yeah.
Um, we're gonna skip. I had Xbox tweeted about gaming, what gaming will look like in 21 years.
Oh,
We're
that was that the whole 2042 what
yeah,
gaming. Yeah, I
yeah,
saw
yeah,
that. I saw the YouTube drop for it and kind of just skipped straight past it. So
yeah. We'll skip that. It was something that I just thought was an interesting topic, but we're running a little short on time for all the rest stuff we got, so we'll skip past it. Um, this is somewhat exciting. Twitch streaming from the dashboard is coming back, no longer having to use an app. Got to be exciting for you, huh?
yeah, it is. So all this means is basically they're kind of going back to the original way of doing things. So excuse me, because you've got the capture share button on your Xbox controller, you press that, it brings up a menu, and then you can kind of like take a screenshot, take a video of the last 30 to 60 seconds. You can alter all those settings in the settings in your Xbox. Because I currently have mine set to that it captures 60 seconds of 4K
Yeah.
footage rather than 30 seconds at 1080. There's now going to be an option where you can start stream and stop stream. That's basically all they're doing, but that it is so much better than having to. Because now when I do a stream straight from the Xbox to our Twitch channel, I have to like choose the game that I want to play, open that game, because then it registers in the Twitch app. I then have to launch the Twitch app and physically like change the stream title to be let's play blah blah blah, which I kind of tend to do from the laptop anyway. And then make sure that like the party chat mic's set right, my mic's set right, make sure everything's all highlighted and selected, and then press start stream, go back to the dashboard, launch the game, and like that takes it sounds silly, but that does take like 5 or 10 minutes just to get everything set up. If I can like be right, open the game, start stream, let's go.
Yeah, I love it. I get the feeling that this was something they intended from the very beginning, and they threw it in there. they tested it and they were like, "Oh crap, this is broken and we don't have time to fix it right now. So let's just scrap it from it and we'll come back to it." Because it was really weird on a console that was so social media or social sharing focused that just was there that they just took it out. It didn't make sense. And I think they never intended to do that. They just didn't have time to get it fixed. So that's cool for and if it becomes that easy, there might be times where I'm like, hey, this is a cool game. I don't want to bust out my computer and get on OBS and set up everything you're saying. I don't want to set all this up. I'll just share it just the way it is right now and just kind of play some and chat on the mic. So that's cool. Xbox Spotlight. What have you been doing on vacation? Lots of games, I'm sure. Tell me all about it.
So while we've brought the Switches with us, so I've obviously been keeping up with the Animal Crossing stuff. But before we came away, so after we last did a podcast, I said that I'd noticed the what's it called now? Tom Clancy's Rainbow Six Siege was on there, and as was like the whole Master Chief collection, so on and so forth. So I said I was going to give that a try. So I played a little bit of Halo online. And I came away from Halo thinking it was too fast paced. There was too much jumping around. There's too much this, too much that. It's not like as I remembered at all.
It's not as fast as you were thinking it would be.
No, from somebody who played a lot of Call of Duty Warzone, it seems very slow. There's no I couldn't slide across the floor. I couldn't jump much. I kind of felt like the game was really heavy to play, if that makes sense. And the one online match that I got to play after kind of trying to get used to the controls, I got, let me think about it, 0 kills. Not a single one. Nothing. Not even an assist. I got zilch. Nothing. And I kind of went, oh. Now, do I have to go back and maybe play a little bit of a campaign, get used to the pace of the game? Because I'm used to being able to with Warzone, you can run, climb, smash through a window, slide along the floor, parachute down a little bit more, and it's kind of once you're getting into a one-to-one with somebody, it's kind of really fast paced. But obviously, leading up to that, there's lots of crouching around, moving around, keeping it out of things. And I just got my ass handed to me big time. I was like, no. So
well, from what I've seen, you'll have all those things in Infinite. I mean, they have the grapple hook, and I think I saw him slide one. I think I saw a slide maneuver, if I can remember correctly. So I bet you'll find a lot of those updates taken from many different games, all those enhancements in this one, because it seems pretty fast paced to me. So that's
what I'm hoping. If it isn't, then I'll be sticking to the campaign only, which is what I was saying earlier about Halo Infinite and the whole playing online versus playing on campaign. So.
Yeah, I'll be playing some online, but it won't not much. I mean, I'll probably check it out. I'll probably get my ass handed to me, and then go back to the campaign. That I'm fairly certain. I am a little bummed. This isn't the end of the world. I want it to be good instead of quick. But I am a little bummed that the co-op campaign isn't coming until I think it's 6 months down the road. So you won't get it until May or June probably of 2022. I'm a little bummed about that because I think that'll be fun to play with somebody else. I played Halo 2's campaign completely co-op, and that was blast. I enjoy playing campaigns like that. But that's okay. I'll play it single, and then maybe we can buddy up when it comes out and play together. Anything else?
No, unfortunately not. As you have, like I said,
I get you.
Yeah, we recorded Tuesday last week. And then I had the funeral and stuff, and we were away for a night last week after the funeral. And then we had the weekend of packing, so literally it was Sunday I got an hour to play on the Xbox. So
Listen, I don't have any of those excuses. I've been here. I've been playing a lot of games. I've been
It's
playing a
just
lot of Metroid. I'm not gonna lie. It kind of like it became a thing. I got a little ways in, then a little bit more, and then I was like, all right, I gotta get this. I'm not gonna drop this game. And so, according to Sean, I am literally at the final baddie. So all the Emmys are gone, and I'm up at the spot where I just need to get it finished. So when this is off my plate, I hope to go back to some Xbox and kind of hit some of these titles and stream some of the stuff that I've been interested in streaming. I did play a little bit of Moonglow Bay because that game interests me. I did not play very long. It's a fishing sim. Um, I almost wonder if, and I did not get far enough to. I'm not gonna remember the name. Moonlighter. I almost wonder if it's gonna have a Moonlighter-ish type feel to it. In Moonlighter, you went into a cave, picked up these monster parts, came back out and sold them. Except in Moonglow Bay, it's just a chill fishing RPG sim. I wonder if you're just gonna go out into the sea, come back, sell your stuff, and do that over and over while also moving the storyline forward that they present with him and his daughter and his wife. We'll just go with her spouse. I don't know. Significant other. Um, and so I wonder how it's gonna work. But that game is. Well, I don't want to say it's good. I literally only played like 40 minutes. But it has my attention and intrigue. I'll give it that for the intro. So that's the only game I played minus Metroid and trying to keep up a little bit with Animal Crossing. Well, listen, I really was like, okay, cool, I'll do this in a little bit, and then like all the Discord folks went crazy, and I was like, well, crap, now I gotta get back into this because everybody's like super pumped, and they got me pumped, and I'm like, all right, let's do it. So I had to reconstruct my garden, and oh man, oh yeah. And then you know what? I'm not gonna lie, when I did that, I realized to segue this into Xbox stuff, I realized how much better building and constructing and moving stuff is in Grounded. I'm not gonna lie. The moment I started to move stuff, I was like, oh, yeah. I remember why I was just like elated to like build and construct and Grounded because it's just so much easier. I'm like, here, Tom Nook, take 50,000 of my bells and go move that campground. And he's like, yeah, I'll see you in a day. And I'm like, all right, thanks for that. You're grand fella, you are. And it was like a day later, okay, it's moved. And then I look at it and I'm like, well, I really like it to be moved actually a block to the left, but well, I'm just gonna live with it now because that's that'd be 100,000 to have it moved and then moved again. And I'm like, no. Mm-mm. Oh, okay. Anyways, I've been talking too much. Why don't you take breaking news?
yeah, so obviously Nick's just talked about Moonglow Bay, which actually sounds quite interesting. I think I need to play something that's a little bit chill, so I might pick that up and give it a go as well. The next one on the list for what's out this week is Backbone, which is a post-noir narrative adventure. You become a raccoon private eye, Howard Lotor, and explore a dystopian Vancouver inhabited by animals as you uncover a deeply personal story of change and transformation. That game sounds really deep.
It does. It kind of reminds me.
And I
of
get
Night
to be
in
a
the
raccoon.
Woods. Isn't it Night in the Woods where you're animals? And now I want to know. Anyways, move on. I think it's Night in the Woods. It's a story-driven, animal-ish game. So
yeah. The other one on the next one on the list is Project Wingman, which we both agreed this looks like it could be very much like a good game to maybe stream together. So it's a dogfight, strike, and fly through combat zones based on an alternate history of Earth, either over the cold waters of Bering Strait, attack tanks in the brutal environments of Yellowstone magma fields, or diving through the redwoods to strike targets of opportunity in the Pacific Northwest, across the oceans and above the scarred lands of the world. This war will take you from the exotic battlefield to exotic battlefield, all while going up against odds way above your pay grade. It kind of boasts that if you like dogfight style games, but don't want the simulator style of flying, that this is very much a pick up and play, off you go, enjoy it kind of thing.
Yeah, that looks pretty fun.
So, yeah.
Bassmaster 2022. I'm excited for this one. I don't know why. It's that weird kind of excitement. I don't know if I don't think I'll really stick with it for long. It's more of a game that has this like vague nostalgia. I remember like I remember catching this gigantic fish in some other Bassmaster, probably, like 1990 Bassmaster or something, cuz um and then not getting back to the dock in time to like weigh my fish because there was this timer and you had only so much time in the day. So it has this nostalgia with me, and I can't even, I don't know, I don't even have any idea how old I was, but it was not that old, maybe 12 or something like that. And I just remember being like, no, I had this huge fish. So I want to see what Bassmaster 2022 looks like in a millennia later, and how it plays and feels, and to see what it looks like now.
With futuristic graphic, well, not futuristic, but futuristic compared to
Yeah,
to the 90s.
that's for sure. 420p probably is what I was playing in at the time.
So, just very quickly.
I'll take this.
So,
Oh, you got it?
Okay.
You're back.
Yeah, I'm back. So I do apologize if I cut out every now and then. I do keep muting myself because I still have the cough. Nearly 4 weeks later, I'm still coughing, which is not concerning, I've been told. So, yeah. So next on the list is Non-Guns, the Doppelganger edition. It's a word I don't like saying.
Not stupidest. I have no idea if it's stupid. It's just crazy, funky, weird.
Yeah. So it's a holistic action platformer roguelike, which kind of has us both just out. It's an obscure in both gameplay and theme, and it's a riddle that demands sacrifice. It looks like a 2D-ish side-scrolling, battling against weird, crazy looking monsters in a run-and-gun / roguelike venture around.
It's very important, listeners, that you understand. We did not give that. That is not something that we came up with. That is literally on the Microsoft site as their description of this game. An obscure in both gameplay and theme. Like that is how they describe the game. That's the best.
And it kind of when you kind of put the words roguelike, turn-based,
obscure,
and yeah,
it's just
done.
Seller, baby. Marketing department gets a raise.
Yeah. So, do you want to take this one?
Sure, go for it. You can take the next two.
Okay, so The Forgotten City is a mystery adventure role-playing game developed by an Australian developer, Modern Storyteller, and published by Dear Villagers with additional support from Film Victoria. It's a full video game adaptation of the critically acclaimed The Elder Scrolls Skyrim mod of the same name. So when I read that, I kind of looked into it very quickly, and it is very elven, dwarven versus each other kind of game. So if you enjoy playing Skyrim and you like that whole crafting armor and kind of like Lord of the Rings style thing, I'd say Lord of the Rings because that's what comes to mind straight away when I played Elder Scrolls. Very much kind of like that style theme of game. I enjoyed Skyrim, so I might take a look at this and kind of see what they've done, kind of basing it on that kind of framework and the mod that they did. Yeah. Also, next on the list is Alan Wake's American Nightmare. If you had an Xbox 360 10, 15 years ago, you will have played this game because it was one of the huge games at the time. You play Alan Wake, who is a fictional character in an author's book, that you play the author playing a guy in his own book. It's very inceptive like that. And basically you play the story of this book as it's written. It gets really weird and twisted in places. There's like monsters and stuff that you've got to deal with a flashlight. It is a bit of a slow going game. It is one that I do want to revisit because I enjoyed it to a point originally. The first time I can remember getting stuck a lot. So I kind of want to see if 15 years later I'm kind of tripping up over myself in the same places, or if I can remember where it is.
It's always fun, the stuff you do remember. You're like, how did I know that was there? Like, how did I remember that I did that? I don't know that I'll ever have time, but I'd love to play the Myst trilogy that came out because I played all of those with my mom, and I'd love to play those with her again just to see how much we remember. I mean, I was probably 15 when we went through all those games one by one by one. So yeah, that's always fun to see what you know and what you don't know, or what you remember and what you don't remember. I can take this one. Echo Generation is a turn-based adventure game about a gang of kids investigating supernatural occurrences while battling monsters and mechs to save their small town. It's turn-based.
Sounds like Stranger Things.
It does kind of. Yeah, you're right. And I will say this about it. The one thing, and Phil Spencer doesn't do this for many games that are not first-party games on Xbox, but he did call this game out as a great game on Twitter. That's not something he just does, so I highly doubt he's getting paid to say that, or he just. I mean, yeah, I think he really I think he probably really likes this game. So you might want to, if that trips your trigger, you might want to check it out. Not much of a turn-based guy, but maybe we'll give it a shot. And on to the party chat.
Yep. So the first question, I'm going to run this one from Mecha first. It's kind of a flip the dock on its head. Have you watched any of the Squid Game?
I've watched the whole thing. Disturbing
cool.
as it is, I've watched the whole
thing. Red light.
Yeah,
great.
Dude, awesome. I had no idea what the hey that movie was or what that series was when I watched it. I literally was just like, I was at work doing office work, reconciling books and whatever junk, and I'm like, oh sure, Squid Game, everybody's watching it, blah blah blah. So I'm just typing away, and I'm like, red light. It's like the whole thing gets blown away. I'm like, I'm like jaw dropped, and I was like, I had to take a moment of breath. I was like, wait, no, what really just happened? So for anybody who hasn't seen it, real quick, it's a game. It's all these people who are down on their luck get invited to this island. I think it's like 400 people, and they go through a bevy, like 6 or 7 kids games. And if you lose the kids game, you lose your life, and the one winner gets a whole lot of money. And it's a very interesting game. A lot of morality issues involved there. But it was a very interesting series, and with morality stuff in there and ethics and all that jazz. But it's a good watch, and it's not a light at heart watch though.
No, it's quite deep as well. There's a lot to it. Yeah. So behind the scenes. Anyway, this brings us to the first question from Mecha Dragon. Here's a fun, quick one to ask. What would some video games for contestants to play on Squid Game?
Well, they could all play Halo.
Yeah.
It's in person not online. It's in person multiplayer Halo. Yeah. Here's your sniper rifle. Hope you win. Who gets in the tank first? That's all that really matters.
Yeah. I'm trying to think now of video games where there's you could not one-on-one each other as such, but kind of
what if they played a version of Tetris 99, but it was like Tetris 400?
Yes. But that's not that. Yeah, that is pretty. That's a good one. I like Mario 99, kind of like that kind of thing.
Yeah, exactly. And if your guy and your blocks go, then the guy with the match is like, see you later. Anyways, yeah, it's that's one.
I'm just going through now, the game list in my head of games that I've played that I think, that would be an interesting one where, gun to your head kind of thing, don't fail. Crash Bandicoot, where you've got to jump across that misty rope bridge, and it's got to be timed perfect. Mm-hmm. That would be amazing because there's not many people who can do that first time.
Yeah, I'm trying to think because I named a couple. Tetris is a good one, but Halo's too adult because you got to remember it's all surrounded by these very cutesy kids games, you know. So like
Yeah, but
Crash Bandicoot
they're
works.
I think they're only themed in the program around the kids game because of the character that hosts it, which I'm not going to talk about too much because if you haven't seen it, we'll spoil like
Yeah,
the later
that's
episodes.
true. I'm just trying to
Because
think of like,
Hmm.
oh, you could do something like Wii Bowling.
Can we Mario Kart tournament?
Yeah, just like you both, you
No,
just the two of you play a game of Wii Bowling, and whoever like that's what I want to see is this game where you're like, oh, I'm sorry, you lost at Pokemon.
Mario Party.
Yeah, Mario Party's a great one. Yeah, it's
You have to
gotta be
just play all
those.
the mini games, and if you fail the mini game,
Yeah, yeah, it's
done.
gotta be those cutesy games. You know, that makes all the difference. Like that's what gave me the first like, I can't believe this just happened. It's like you're playing this game that you remember as a kid playing. You know, like red light, green light. Great, cool, this is neat. And all of a sudden you're like, what just happened? Oh yeah, that's a good one, Mecca. Good question.
Yeah. And the second question is from Zablanc. Today was my last day on Game Pass for a few months. We're sorry to see you leave.
Moment of silence.
Yep.
All right, there you go. That's all you get to.
I've been playing purchase games like Twin Mirror, and I've got Death's Door lined up next. My question for you guys is, and let's pretend the whole show isn't themed around it. If your Game Pass subscription ended today, which games would you miss the most?
I mean, it's the one game I would literally buy, and that's Grounded. I would buy that game immediately if I didn't have Game Pass news.
Yeah, Lonely Mountains Downhill.
Yeah,
It's the only one when we've gone through all the Game Pass games where I've kind of like played them and streamed them. It's the only one that has still remained installed and pinned to my dashboard.
Nice. I mean, I also would probably buy Psychonauts, especially if like I didn't have a bevy of Game Pass games on the list that I'm trying to finish, or try to at least get to and play.
I really need to go back to that.
Me too. It's on my list. It's the next thing I want to try to get through after Metroid. So probably those two at the moment are the two that stick out to me. Games I'd miss, I'd really want. Have to have.
Yep. I'm just very quickly looking now. Things. So the golden ticket hasn't changed much.
I didn't update that. I'm sorry. That's the one thing I didn't do. Failure on my part.
It's still the same as it is at the moment, and I don't think they've released anything new yet that's coming up next.
Never mind. So. Erase all that. I knew that. I knew exactly what I was doing, and that's why I didn't touch it. Okay, good.
So Hover is still available until November 15th. Aero, which I think is the one that has gone away, went on the October 15th, and Resident Evil Code Veronica Rex is still available till the 31st of October. So, yep. As for what's new on the horizon, Football Manager 2022.
Which Sean is going to be playing that sucker.
No, I've never played a Football Manager game in my life, so I'm not going to start now. But that's available the 8th of November. And Grand Theft Auto San Andreas, which both of us are probably very excited for. And if you are friends with us on Xbox, you will probably see us playing quite a bit. And that's due on Remembrance Day for the UK on the 11th of November.
Old news, still Minecraft stuff coming out here real soon, actually, in about 4 days. November 2nd, Minecraft Spooky Gordian is available till November 2nd. Yeah. And then the spookier fall event is available also till.
Yep. As for updates on any old news, we haven't got any new dates for anything that we haven't released before. So Forza Horizon still 9th of November, Halo Infinite 8th of the. I know that's if you haven't already seen that it's available to pre-download, it's now available to pre-download. 151 gigabytes, I believe.
121 for us S people, just saying.
Halo Infinite, that's the 8th of December. Evil Genius 2 World Domination, the 30th of November. And Stalker 2 is the only other date that we know, and that's the 28th of April next
I
year.
hope that hits its date. That's been out there since E3. God bless that game. If it gets moved, I'm gonna be really sad because like at E3, it's like, yeah, we're dropping this game 4/28/22. Don't worry, it'll be there. I mean, I really want to see it hit its date. Um, man, I am one. I'm so excited for Forza Horizon. I just keep getting more excited, and I don't even. Well, I didn't even know why, but now, like I'm seeing early, not early footage, but early remarks of people who have the game in hand, of like third party, journalists that have the game in hand that are saying it is an absolute gem. And so it only makes me more excited to be like, oh yeah, it looks like maybe they did hit everything that they're talking about. So
Yep.
I'm really excited to play this racing game, which I don't know that I've ever said that in my life.
And I'm really excited in the fact that every time I go to my mum and dad's, the driving sim rig that my dad has in the corner of the living room seems to be collecting more and more dust. So I know he's not using it. So I'm like, okay.
I think
That's mine.
Ebicel is apparently excited for Forza. Either that or he's just excited to be here. Either one, we're excited he's here. So thanks for showing up, Ebicel. We really appreciate it.
So, but yeah, I
so
believe.
Wait, are you? I'm sorry, I didn't mean to interrupt you. Are you going to? So, are you going to get this rig, or I mean, how is this? How big? This is like a man-sized rig, right? Like this is the.
No, it's not a man-sized rig. It's basically like if I was sat in this chair like I'm sat in now. The steering wheel would be at the steering wheel height, and the pedals would be perfect in place as if you were driving a car. So it's adaptable to whatever seat that you sit in. It's not a full man-sized rig.
Oh, okay.
Where it's basically just a forced feedback steering wheel with the flappy paddles and full force feedback like brake, accelerator, and clutch. So, but yeah, I'll be pinching that from him. So, because I know he only uses it to play his trucker simulator that he's got. So, yeah,
I love it.
My dad used to drive like trucks and stuff for a living, so it's kind of like I kind of look at him and think to myself, you're retired. Why on earth do you want to drive the physical 4 hours that you used to drive? But anyway,
hey, sometimes you love it. Did he ever play that one game that you played? Why can't I think of the name of it? Where you had to winch the truck to the mountain to pull out of the ditch?
No, but my brother really liked it.
Oh really? Oh cool.
Was it Snow Runner?
Snow Runner, yeah, that's it. Yep.
Yeah, my brother saw that I'd been playing it, and then kind of I was there, went to my mum and dad's one day, and my brother was there. I was like, "Oh, I've seen you playing Snow Runner. What do you think to it?" And I was like, "It was really, really slow. It was really, really not for me." And I was like, "Oh no, it's amazing. I love it. I like the fact that you've got to do this and you got to do that." And I was like, "Yeah, no."
Sounds
So
like
I looked at him and, "How long did it take you to figure out to turn the lights on?" He went, "You can turn the lights on." I was like, so he'd played some of this game in the dark, unable to see. I was like, "What did you do?" He just went, "I just turned the brightness up on my TV."
That's the best in the world. John's like, "It's not Snow Runner, it's Slow Runner."
Yeah, that was a hard game to stream.
Yeah, I remember. You were so tired too, and you were like, "Oh, this game's horrible." Oh, all right, man. Old news is still, or I'm sorry, the bye-bye is still old news. We've talked about it. Unruly Heroes, Five Nights at Freddy's, all of them. Carto, Celeste, Eastshade, and Knights and Bikes will be gone here in about 3 days. And then they'll let us know what other games are going to be gone at the end of November. That's normally how they've been playing this out. So
yeah, which is quite good because it seems that as soon as we started doing this podcast and we were looking into trying to find the information for people, Xbox has started releasing it.
Yeah.
So does that mean they noticed? Oh.
Yeah, I think they know it's a part of what people hate about Game Pass, right? I mean, it's the one thing. It's like, yeah, Game Pass is a great deal, but I don't get my games and they might leave. And so they're like, all right, we'll at least give you 30 days. If you love a game, you're going to have 30 days to either finish it or find a way to start thinking about how you're going to purchase it or how you're going to do it.
Oh, yeah. I should try it. To try it and see if you like it. And then if it's gone, you'll buy it. So.
I think it's great.
Yep. So, unless there's anything else to add, I'm going to take us out and go drink some more beer and play some poker.
Yeah. Pokemon?
No, poker. Just poker.
Oh, I was like, really? You're playing Pokemon? What game are you playing? Okay. Yeah, poker. Yeah, have fun.
So yeah. So yeah, that's it for me and Nick this week. As always, our socials of Twitter, YouTube, and Twitch is at Gamepass News. If you're listening to this via your usual podcasting app and have the ability to give us any feedback and likes and comments, please do so because we love them all. If you want to get involved with the Nintendo Dads Discord and chat to us, or if you are a Nintendo fan and have enjoyed the first segment of our podcast this week and then not enjoyed the rest and you want to talk Nintendo with the Nintendo Dads, head over to patreon.com/Nintendo Dads. For $1 a month, you can get access to like our tier and the most of the gameplay kind of chat tiers. Thanks to Hambo and Johnny, Andros, and Ibisel for joining us in the live chat. Thank you very much for listening. And as always, we hope to hear from you soon. So see you later.
See you later, guys.